Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the hidden mechanics of producing a truly successful show. Because whether you're staging a local school play or a massive stadium-packing concert, there is a very distinct anatomy to a performance. And we are going to break it down step by step into three absolutely crucial phases: the plan, the prepare, and the perform.
Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever actually found yourself wondering what happens right before the curtain goes up? It's just so easy to sit there in the audience and think a great show is all about the singing, the acting, or the playing. But the reality? That final performance is literally just the visible tip of a very large iceberg. A truly great show requires significantly more than just stepping on stage and hitting the right notes. So, here is our roadmap for today. 1. Anatomy of a performance. 2. Phase 1, the plan. 3. Phase 2, the preparation. And 4. Phase 3, the performance.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, Anatomy of a Performance, Unveiling the Invisible Work.
Right here, these are our 3 Ps: plan, prepare, and perform. This simple methodology is your step-by-step blueprint. It's the exact framework that takes you from an empty, quiet space all the way to a roaring crowd. Moving right along to phase 1, the plan, visualizing the final show. Now, like most successful activities, the planning phase is the foundational and honestly the most important step. Imagine you're the performer right now, building your initial vision entirely from scratch. You really need to ask yourself these key visualizing questions. Where will the show be? When is it happening? And how long is it going to run? Who exactly is your audience? Will the performance have a specific theme or maybe a catchy title? Is this for a particular event or occasion? And finally, are there any elements from other performances you've enjoyed that you want to incorporate into your own? Answering these questions is what paints the complete picture of your final show. And this brilliantly illustrates how choosing the right repertoire is crucial to that planning. Take a classic welcome song, like Swagatham Shubha Swagatham at the Swagatham. Selecting a strong opening piece like that sets the exact right mood for your audience. Deciding what you'll actually perform is absolutely vital to your overall plan, and you really want everyone in your group contributing songs they know and love. Now, here's a really cool piece of historical trivia for you. That specific welcome song was composed by the renowned sitar maestro Pandit Ravi Shankar, and it was sung at the inauguration ceremony of the 1982 Asian Games in New Delhi. I highlight this because it proves a massive point. The exact same planning principles, setting a theme, understanding the occasion, choosing the perfect opening music, they apply whether you're staging a small classroom event or a massive international sporting spectacle. Planning also involves expanding your horizons, researching folk traditions completely outside of your own background. When you're creating your set list, maybe you look into dances from Chhattisgarh to celebrate regional traditions, or you explore something totally new to you, like an Odia folk song from the tribals of Koraput, traditionally sung during the Chaita Paraba festival, to celebrate coming together. Bringing diverse traditions into your planning makes your performance so much richer. All right, shifting gears into phase 2, the preparation, rehearsals, logistics, and hustle. This is where we leave the quiet of the drawing board and jump straight into the loud, busy, and beautifully chaotic energy of the rehearsal space. So what are your rehearsal goals? Well, first, you have to practice as a cohesive group, so everyone learns to work well together. Maybe you find fun ways to incorporate techniques like singing in canon or using body percussion. Notice how each person really has to lean into their specific strengths here. Vocalists need to focus heavily on the lyrics and conveying the emotion of the story. Meanwhile, instrumentalists need to focus on dynamics and feeling, knowing exactly when to take the lead and when to simply support the vocalists. Finally, you perform for a teacher or a friend, get their feedback, and build a targeted practice plan.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is seeing how all that practice builds directly into the physical space. It's not just the musicians working hard. The literal logistical hustle required by the production team alongside the musicians is immense. You've got teams setting up lights and sound equipment while others are physically arranging the audience seating. A successful show is a massive, coordinated team effort.
Just think about the sheer volume of production needs you have to juggle backstage. Do you need props for the stage? What about specific lighting to match your theme? Do you need an anchor to announce the acts and engage the crowd? Are there enough chairs? And hey, how are you actually getting people to show up? Do you need eye-catching posters around the school or a full-blown social media promotion plan? The preparation phase requires an incredible amount of promotion and logistical support to make the whole shebang work. And that brings us to our natural climax, Phase 3, the performance. Showtime and the final feedback loop.
Take this musical performance at the National Kala Utsav, for example. On the actual day of the show, your job is to execute those final steps with total confidence. You warmly welcome your audience and introduce the show. You proudly present the piece you have rehearsed so tirelessly, and you end with a gracious thank you message. And this is key. Try to record the performance so you have a lasting record of your team's amazing achievement.
But wait, the process doesn't actually end when the curtain falls. After you perform the show in Step 1, Step 2 is gathering constructive feedback from your audience, and Step 3 is discussing it internally with your team. This post-show review is vital because it feeds directly into your planning for the next time you take the stage.
So, the crucial point is, how do we actually measure success after all of this? This matrix translates the textbook rubric into concrete criteria, showing exactly how all your planning and preparing is ultimately graded. If you're assessed individually, the focus is strictly on musical execution. We're talking pitch, rhythm, accuracy of the raga or tala, and your expression. But as a group, the focus shifts entirely to overall presentation. This looks at your teamwork, coordination, creative ideas, and how well you executed the event planning. It is the perfect summary of the invisible work we talked about right at the beginning. Which brings us to the end of our explainer. Now that you understand the hidden anatomy of a show and you possess the ultimate blueprint to plan, prepare, and perform, I have to ask, what will your first performance be? The stage is entirely yours to command, so start brainstorming, start collaborating, and get out there. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and I cannot wait to see what you create.